So what you're looking at is one of the best hands that my Trickstars deck can have, and we're going to go ahead and show you why. So turn one, I see this hand, I'm like, oh, this is a pretty good hand. We put Dark Room of Nightmares, we play Candinia. We then go ahead and get our light stage, pop our light stage, and then we grab, I can never remember her name, Lycoursis or Lycourse? Lycourse? I'm horrible with names. So I pop Lycourse. He then draws a card, which every single time he draws a card is 1,000 damage. This effect pretty much happens from when any card from like graveyard, banish, deck, whatever, gets sent to his hand, counts as a draw. Luckily, he couldn't OTK me. It was a lot of hope if he won't OTK me. So he then just ends up setting 2 cards, and I was like, I think he just loses. So then I chain that effect is Dogmatica. Now, here's the funny part. When he did that, I played Chain Summon, and I was like, he doesn't even know. He just lost. Like, he's gonna find out the hard way. So then he destroys her, and I'm like, well, she's dead. That sucks. Oh wait, I can go get another one. Send Candinia back to my hand. Put down Candinia again. Go get another one. And then guess what? Send Candinia right back to my hand. And then, oh, you know what? I think I'm missing a festival here. So then I go grab a festival. I pop festival, give my 2 tokens, and then this is when the fun begins. So with our first token, we go ahead, we get Bloom. We then pop Bloom's effect, which makes my opponent draw a card. Something all your opponents always want to do, except in this situation, where then, if I am not mistaken, I believe he takes for every single card he draws. I think it's around 1,800 damage he takes. If I am not mistaken, I believe he takes 1,800 damage for every card. Also, we're gonna pop Narcus? Yeah, we're gonna call her Narc. For Narc. So Narc, every time a Trickstar monster does damage to your opponent, you get to special summon her from your hand. And as you can see, he has dropped like a bag of rocks. Now, the reason I elaborate this is one of the best hands is because you get Crimson Heart. Crimson Heart allows you to discard 1 card and draw 2. So now I get Ash, and also another Candinia, which is funny. And the reason I said it was one of the best is because I have 1 Mandrake in my deck. And when Mandrake's in your hand is discarded, you can then special summon that card from your graveyard, which you're gonna see. So as you can see, he drew a card, and now he's going to take 1,800. And then Mandrake affects a pops. So now you can see her. Now, I guess I should elaborate, because earlier you saw Appropriate in there, and what Appropriate does is every time your opponent draws a card outside of their draw phase, you get to draw 2 cards. However, that card has never even once proven useful to me. I promise, not even a single time. Not ever. So you bring out Holly. Holly has a neat effect of every time a monster, I believe it's a Trickstar monster, is special summoned to her link zone, she then herself inflicts damage upon your opponent, which then with Holly and Dark Room of Nightmares is 1,000 damage. So it's so funny because with this deck, of course, Nibiru completely screws this combo over, where I've had it happen to where I essentially got the perfect hand, and then I got Nibiru, and then it was GG. So now he's drawing a card. Like, you are just drawing, and you're just like, I'm gonna die, aren't I? And I'm like, yeah, no, he's going to die. So he's in kill rage, where I could end the phase right now, and he loses. But it's not over yet. Dark Room of Nightmare isn't over just yet. Holly isn't done, even though all she's doing is gaining attack. And so Dark Room of Nightmare, I believe, pops 1 more time, he's dead. And that's death. And actually, after 4 times, he was dead. So now he plays Lordelis. I haven't really played Dogmatica, so I have no idea what this card does. I just know that he special summons her, and I was just like, you're dead, you know that, right? Like, you can't stop this. It's too late. It's going on forever. And then 1 more, and bow, he's dead. It's a lot of combos, it's a lot of fun, and it's so enjoyable when you get the perfect hand. However, like in the last video, or my last name video with this deck, it is very inconsistent. You are more likely to brick than to actually be able to play something playable. So let's go on to the next game. Duel? Whatever. So in our next duel, we get not the greatest hand, however, it is an okay hand. So we go ahead, we kick it off with Light Sage. we get like horses, and we already know the play. We put down Candinia, activate like horses. Unfortunately, if we had chain summoning, this would pretty much almost, well, no, Dark Room of Nightmares was kind of real good for the, you know, death part. So then we get reincarnation, and I activate double summoning, put another Candinia down, and then I go get my other like horses, pop like horses, send Candinia back to the hand, and we put reincarnation. Like I said, reincarnation is real good because your opponent gets a certain amount of cards in their hand, and then you banish their whole hand, and then they draw the same number of cards. And when I popped reincarnation, I really and truly wish I popped Maxx. And you're gonna see why I wish I popped. So you see, he takes 1200, and then he essentially takes 2800. Now, if I had Dark Room of Nightmares, it'd be a lot more disgusting, and if you had more cards. So I then pop Maxx. He pops out Cross Out Designator. I looked, he only has 2 of these. So because of that, he managed to then Cross Out Designator and then kill my Maxx, which really sucks because he then immediately link summons. And then I see Prank Kids as well, and I immediately realized, oh man, if I had a Maxx right now, this would hit so different, because I'm just like, please just keep drawing cards. I want to see if you can kill yourself by just drawing the cards, because I've had it happen to where I had these 2 cards out, and every time a card gets added from graveyard or deck or the banished pile to his hand, like horse just counts that as a draw. She's like, nah, it counts as a draw, and then she does her damage. So he goes into Gallic Granite, and I was just like, add 1 rock master for deck to your hand, and I was like, oh, okay, you're just going to take this damage. And I was like, well, he's quite fearless, because I mean he has 2000 attack, 2300, so he could easily kill both of my monsters, and it's also Adamantipator. So I'm like, ooh, this could get quite sketchy. And so then he goes, excavates, and he looks. I see Exceed, I see Nibiru, and then he brings out his monster, special summon, so it doesn't count as a draw. And then I'm like, who is he about to link into? And then I see Kriston, and I was like, ooh, this isn't good. And then I just quit, because I very quickly realized that isn't good. And so yeah, that's how that one went. Anyway, next duel. This duel you're about to watch is a presentation of why you shouldn't Maxx every single deck that you come across if you get Maxx. So why don't we go ahead and get started? So Trick Stars, I'm going first. First thing I'm going to play Light Stage. Of course, you're always going to play it, get out Candinia if she's not in your hand. I play Candinia, pop her effect. He says he pops Maxx. The smile that I got on my face when he did, because now guess what, I get to pop chain summoning, and then I'm also just pop in like courses just so he can't negate it. And he turns out, okay, no negates. So you know what that is? That's a special summon. And you know what that is for him? Nothing, because I activated like horses afterwards. And the reason I did that was so that when I pop Candinia again, I could pop like horses, and he's going to draw a card, and now he's going to lose, is it 18? No, I do not have Dark Room of Nightmares, so he's going to lose 800. And so I pick up Narcissus, because it's another special summon for me, and it's another 800 damage for him. And then I'm like, ooh man, he has to be regretting it right now. And then we're going to bring out Candinia. We're going to bring out another like horses. Now I kind of messed up. The reason I brought her out was because of Dark Room of Nightmare. And what he's going to do, he's going to take 1200. And so the reason I messed up with like horses is I shouldn't have immediately brought her. I should have kept her and then used Trickstar Festival. So now I have to pop my like horses, unfortunately. I bring out Heart, and I'm going to send Candinia, because I'm pretty sure this is game, so I don't really need Candinia. So as you see, he is just taking all of the damage known to man. I get 2. The 2 are useless. I can't do anything with it. But he is just burning and burning and burning. And he has to be looking like, man, that Maxx was a mistake. So guess what? That's another special summon. And guess what? That's another 800 damage, baby. And it just keeps on going and going. I'm like, man, does he have any negates? And so with the tokens, guess who we bring out? We bring out Bloom. And you know what that is for him? Another special summon. And that's another 800 right off the board. So pretty much at this point, after I make him draw this card, I was like, oh yeah, that's good. because that's another 800 off the board. It is so funny because you cannot negate any of Light Course's effect. It's a passive essentially, so you can't negate it. You can only sit there and burn. You bring out Holly. Reason I bring out Holly, it's another special summon. That is another 800. And it's just, he's looking like, wow, I cannot believe this. And then he just quits. Oh, it was so funny. And like, it's just an example of why you cannot max seed every deck you run across. So in this duel, we get a starting hand. Starting hand ain't that great. Could honestly be a lot better. It's borderline unplayable, but you know, we make do what we can do. So I'm going second anyway, so I'm hoping that the draw I get is going to be pretty decent. He does Condemn Witch. I see Forbidden Droplet. I'm like, okay, so it really doesn't matter. One of my effect monsters is pretty much going to be obsolete. And so with that, we get Maxx C, and then I'm like, you know what, we're gonna pop Corbane. He then activates Condemn Witch, who's going to be able to, you know, special summon, and I was like, don't want to pop Maxx C. Not really. I probably should have. He then brings out Indulge Dark Lord, which then made me regret because I could have got 2 draws if I would have popped Maxx C there, but I didn't. So then I'm just like, I'm gonna attack. He got Forbidden Droplet. There's no point. Of course, sends my attack down 1,000. She gets destroyed, not really too affected. Got L'Oreal in my hand, which allows me to bring one Trickstar monster from my graveyard to the field. I then pop Maxx C because I'm just like, all right, just if you give me 2 to 3 good draws, it could be over. So then he immediately goes into a Link Summon monster, and it is, what is it again? Oh yeah, Cross Out Sheep, or not Cross Out Sheep, just Cross Sheep. He does Cross Sheep. I'm like, all right, great. And then I see he's going to special summon another Dark Lord. I'm like, I'll take it. He then does Indulge Dark Lord, and then makes me draw or special summon a monster, and then I get Appropriate, which that card has never ever came in clutch. However, I have it just in case, and then I get another L'Oreal, and I'm just like, if that L'Oreal could have been, if it just simply could have been chain summoning, I win. I genuinely believe I win. So then Trickstar Life Stage comes out. Actually, no, because with Indulge choking on my tongue there. Indulge Dark Lord, if they could have just been like not there, it would have been, but they're clogging up the board. And then does Dark Lord Uprising, which then brings out everyone's favorite Dark Lord, the first Dark Lord, which then the first Dark Lord's first effect is Everything Be Gone. And so he's going to activate Cross Out Sheep, which I believe allowed him to, that's right, special summon. And then my whole board gets wiped, which was really bad. I then, you won't see it because of course it's going to skip past it, but I sat here for about a good, before I scooped, I sat there for about like maybe a good 60 seconds looking at my extra deck, finding out a way. Is there a way for me to out the Dark Lord? Is there any card I could draw? I couldn't think of any calculations. Thought of 3,000 similar situations and 0 of them worked. It was just going to be my loss regardless. And with that loss, that also becomes the end of this video, and I would like to go ahead and thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, and catch you in the next one.